When I was younger, I sometimes assumed that I was terribly uninteresting. I was worrying a lot about how other people perceived me. But that one about being uninteresting was probably my biggest worry. If I spoke too slowly, I was always thinking that I should speak faster because people had lost interest. And if I lost eye contact with the person I was speaking to, I also just assumed that they didn't want to hear what I had to say and that my thoughts and ideas were unnecessary and that I was being too much. On one hand, this is very human. I think a lot of us experience this fear or worry, and we believe that we are the only people in the whole world who feels like this. Well, we aren't. But on the other hand, I think this worry develops when you have met a lot of people throughout your life that haven't treated you in the best of ways. What I mean with that is that they have actually been the cause of your negative emotions of feeling anger, sadness, frustration, irritation, but they never took responsibility for it. It could have even happened between children when you were younger, but there were no adults to make sure that this was going to be fair play. And this makes you feel like you're the one always making sure that there is no tension, and you're the one who needs to smooth over awkwardness in conversations, and that you are the glue in all of your relationships, because otherwise people will not care about you. They will not reach out, they will not invite you to activities. You're literally the controller of the relationship. Because if you're not managing it, no one else will. This results in two things. One of them being that you end up blaming yourself for things that are actually out of your control. You develop this underlying belief that you are the problem and you need to fix it. The other side of this is that you develop a deep distrust in other people because you haven't seen them take responsibility for their actions, for their feelings. They have just let it out on other people. And so you end up thinking that you're actually better than them because they are not mature enough, they are not smart enough, they are not adult enough to be in a healthy relationship with you or with other people. And when these two things merge, the only conclusion you can come to is that I have to fix myself. I have to do better, I have to be better, and I need to adapt to other people. The problem with this is that it only works for a while. It's not a very well functioning behavior. And these beliefs about yourself that you're the problem will create a very harsh inner critic that in some cases can even turn into self-hate. Instead of enjoying the moment of being around your friends and your family or your colleagues, you will more often than not be ruminating about how you're acting and what are you expressing and not expressing, and you will like analyze your whole behavior and lose that presence that you could have with other people. It's actually a very self-centered approach to things because you literally start thinking that you are carrying the whole world on your shoulders. One example from my personal life is that I often say that I am the only one who can problem solve in different situations because I don't trust that other people can find solutions to things. I have been proven that so many times over that I don't even give them the chance to show me what they are capable of. And when you never give other people the chance to show you what they are capable of, and you never let them problem solve or be the bigger person, you will end up creating exactly that reality, because you're around people and attracting people and creating relationships with people that are actually incapable and unable of these things. So it becomes like a very, very destructive feedback loop. I started noticing this behavior in myself in quite a few areas of my life, but the main one being in relationship to men. So whenever I would go on a date, I noticed that I was so focused on being liked, and I was rarely thinking of, do I like this guy? Do I want to see him again? And because of that, I got very confused about why I was even continuing to meet a certain person. Like, it wasn't clear to me. Because I was so focused on being liked, I felt this huge responsibility of saving the other person or the man from his imperfections, from being rude, from not having basic conversational skills, from just messing up in whatever way. I was the one who needed to save him and us from that awkwardness and from my hurt feelings. I couldn't just feel my hurt feelings. And I remember that when I gained the confidence to speak up and tell the other person when they hurt me, when I felt like they overstepped the boundary, I still ended up backing off after I had told them this boundary. I felt like I was responsible for him feeling bad. And now in hindsight, that makes no sense, because my responsibility ends where I have told my truth and I've told it in a respectful way. And now I'm just gonna notice and observe how you're taking it. That's it. I don't need to excuse myself or laugh or smile more, because now I need to fix the awkwardness. One funny thing that I used to do a lot was, people don't really ask a lot of questions in conversations, and I tried to remedy that by asking even more questions in hopes of being like a role model to them and teaching them how to do a basic conversation. But it ended up being like an interrogation and not allowing them to actually think about what do they want to know about me. Like, allowing that space and that silence for them to think. I read this book a while ago, and the author kept repeating that a real relationship, a healthy one, is between two people, not one. It's not about you and you, it's about you and another person. And at first I was like, why is she repeating this? Like, I already know this logically. But after a while, it kind of became a mantra. I'm like, I think I'm getting it now emotionally. And I truly realized that it wasn't my responsibility to manage or coach or parent other people's emotions, their reactions, their actions, like, none of it. It wasn't my responsibility. I will do that for my kids. I will not do it for a man. And of course, you can ask guiding questions for people to maybe understand what they should do better. This also takes away the emotional burden that I and many people put on themselves. And in the beginning, it's very hard to let this sink in, because you're so set in your ways, and trusting other people and their abilities is terrifying. But it is their job. You can't do their job for them. If it gets awkward, let it be awkward, and let the other person show you that they can improve it. Maybe they will joke, or they will smile, or they will point out something in the environment for you to notice, and just like direct the conversation to something else. Let them do that. Because if you're not letting them, how are they going to show you that? So, no, you are not unlovable, and you're not too damaged, and you're not too much. You just have to realize that other people are also accountable for what happens in their lives and how things turn out for them. And you only need to worry about your own actions and the things you can control.